Hello and good morning, my Stampin' friends. I am so glad that you guys are here today, as I am all the time when you guys tune in. So thank you. I see so many of you who are from very cold and snowy places. And then I see Puerto Rico, where it's like probably a very beautiful day. Well, welcome everyone. We're glad you're here. Let me show you what we're going to be creating today. These are called Bendy cards. I've got two cards. They're the same card, as you can see, but we're going to do a vertical and a horizontal, or also known as a portrait and a landscape. So it's but it's all going to go together the same way. It's just the measurements are a little bit different, but I wanted you guys to have the option. All right, lots of options with how you can create the cards. Now, a couple things you need to know about these cards. They fit flat in a medium-sized envelope. Yeah, they're going to go flat. But the reason they're called a bendy card is they bend and they stand. All right. We've got a place over here for our message. Same thing over here. You can put your message. These are so much fun. I'm really excited to teach these to you. So really quickly, let's bring Brenda and Christina on the screen. There you are. Hi, friends.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Christina told me just as we were just about to go live, because she's over there on Facebook, Brenda, she's over there on YouTube, but she says, Mom, you got another another
account.
Fake account. If you guys follow my newsletter, and if you don't, I highly recommend that you consider signing up for that newsletter. If you're on Facebook, you know what, Christina, can I let you explain? I mean, it's just
absolutely
crazy.
Yeah. So there are people out there who will find successful businesses and create their own version of that Facebook page so that they can go into Connie's comments and start commenting, and it looks like her, and they can get you to message them. They start asking really personal questions and might end up getting personal information from you that you don't want out there because you think you're giving it to Connie. And they're getting very, very tricky. So a couple things to look out for anytime you are talking to Simply Simple Stamping on Facebook. One, make sure it is capital Simply, capital Simple, capital Stamping, because that's one of the ones that's been going around is they just lowercase.
And that blows my mind that something as tiny as lowercase letters make it a brand new account. Ridiculous.
Yeah, we also had someone who named it Simply Simple Chat Sampling. So, yeah. And even I looked past it at first and was like, that's a weird comment for her to make.
I know how to spell.
Yeah.
Like, that one is not me.
They will take her profile picture. They will take her cover photo. So when you click on the account, it still looks legit. There was one I looked at the other day that had stolen a bunch of posts. And I was like, okay, these are all the posts that we make. But all of them got posted on one day, like several months worth of posts that have gone out over the last few months were all posted February 7th. So please, as you are on Facebook, especially because we are sending a lot of links on our on our Facebook here, please make sure you are talking with the right Connie. I am going through every time I catch an account and I am reporting them for impersonation and trying to delete their comments, but they are bots, so they move a lot faster than I physically can. So yeah, we just wanted to warn you guys, keep an eye out, make sure you are talking to the real Connie. She is never going to comment and be like, please send me a message. I would love to have a cordial relationship with my fans. That's the one they've been posting a lot.
I mean, you guys know I love you.
Because they can't message the people, like from Connie's page, because you commented on Connie's post, she can message you. But a bot just showing up in the comments cannot send you a message. So that's why they're constantly saying, can you send me a message? Kind of similar to the creepy guy bots that go around of like, you're so beautiful and I love your posts. I've tried to send you a friend request, but will you please message me and be my friend because I find you so beautiful? We find all of you beautiful. We love chatting with you guys, but that's not how we do
we wouldn't send you that message.
Well, I'm trying to picture Connie ever saying cordial.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was. There's a word I use every day. Oh, yeah. I would love to have a cordial relationship with you.
So yeah,
we might have to work that in now, though.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, throughout the whole video, it's all going to be. I'm going to cordially invite you to create this card.
Okay.
And make sure you use friend dies somehow. Friend dies.
Yep.
Some die.
You know, I'm reading the comments, and oh well, Deborah's from Texas, and she says her son lives in Moore, Oklahoma.
Oh no way, that's us.
Yeah, that's us. Moore. It's a little icy. We had an ice storm come through 2 days ago, shut down schools for 2 days. I'm sure the kids are devastated too. So yeah, we're doing a little chatting, probably more chatting than we normally do. So let me just say, and I should have said this at the beginning. If you're here and you're going, is she ever going to stamp? Yes.
No.
Scroll forward until you see my hands. I will stamp. I promise.
There's no stamping today.
Do what?
So there's no stamping. We're just
there's no stamping. We're just going to
all day.
We're just going to be cordially upset at the Facebook scammers.
Right.
Oh, anyway, more than anything, guys, we just want you to be safe. We want that Facebook community that we have with Simply Simple Stamping to be a place that you are safe and comfortable to share. I have a feeling this could go on for just a little bit, and then eventually they're going to give up and move on to someone else. So usually that's how these things go. They do it over and over and over, and then they finally go, okay, we're done. So hopefully, let's see. Oh, Kim says her sister used to live in Norman, and she
can I point out, Connie is never going to ask. I want to just point out, Connie's never going to ask you to message her. Connie is never going to ask you to friend her. In fact, a business page won't ask you to friend them.
Yeah, it's not even an option.
No, and she's not going to ask you to click on any link. So just
except the ones that she is personally messaging that go to the Simply Simple Stamping website.
Right. Yeah. So just be aware of those things. In a message, she's never going to ask for that.
So a lot of times you'll see, like, if you want the free download, type in the word baby in the comments and I'll send it to you. Yes, that is 100% me. Right. Promise you that is me. So yeah. And if you're ever not sure, if you're ever going, this seems weird,
go to the blog.
Go to the blog or call me. Don't call me. I would have a ton of phone calls. How about this? Email me it's easy. Connie at simplysimplestamping.com. It's an email address you can remember, but just email me and say, Connie, I got this message from you. Is it really you? I am happy to respond to that. So yes, please let me know. And if you get my newsletter, you got an email yesterday with how to report it. It's really easy. You're going to click on the 3 dots. You're going to say, let's see, Christina, remind me.
Click on the impersonation of a business, and then it'll give you the option to type in the business. I did it this morning on an account, and make sure you're clicking on the correct Simply Simple Stamping that you're reporting. The other one says that they are a grocery store. So don't say that they are impersonating the grocery store Simply Simple Stamping. They're weird accounts.
From the one that doesn't cook. That's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, okay. We're going to go ahead and jump in. But if you're still with me here, I've got a fun story to share at the end of today's video. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's a non-stamping little story I'm going to tell. So stick around. Okay. I'm seeing lots of good mornings from Ontario, and Kathy is from Michigan, and she said it's snowing there. Woo. Diane and Claudine, everyone's here. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you're joining in. Well, I'll tell you what, let me get myself flipped over here. And there we go. Hi. All right. Let me show you. We're going to create this Bendy card. Now, again, I kind of said it at the beginning. There's 2 versions of the card. Friends, what you stamp right here can be anything your little cordial brain can think of. And you're going to have a good time with these. Here's where you're going to write your message. So even though I'm going to be using the terrific Toadstools bundle on mine, I want you guys to get creative. But can I tell you something about this bundle? I saw it and went, it was not my style at all. And I just kept seeing projects made with it. And I went, okay, it's starting to grow on me. And then one of my team members, Penny Bear, made a project with it. And I was like, doggone it, Penny, you're going to make me buy this set. And I did. And I'm so glad I did. It maybe you felt the same way. I don't know. I just look at it and I go, it's a mushroom. I don't know. But it has really, really grown on me, and I'm having a lot of fun. With that, let's jump into our card. I'll try to set that right there so you can see it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a piece of basic white cardstock. And this is the actual Bendy panel itself. And it is a 4 3/4 by 5. Now, that means it's only a 1/4 inch off from being a square. So let me I'm going to just grab my Simply Scored board. And you want to put it in here, and you want the 4 3/4 end up at the top. So make sure that's what you have up there at the top. And then you're going to score this at 1/2 inch and 4 1/4 inches, basically a 1/2 inch on each side. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that. You know what? Since I've got my Simply Scored board out, can I show you one more thing we're going to score? I got a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm using cherry cobbler. And if you'll score that at 2 1/8 inch, that's the little mark right past 2. So that is the other score line you're going to need for the card. All right, I'm going to put this back because it's a little cumbersome on my table. All right, so we're going to start by giving this a little fold. And let's see what you guys are talking about. Judy says, Connie, I understand no toadstools or mushrooms for me. I know it. But once I started playing with it, I'm like, okay, it's just bright, colorful, fun. Who knew, right? Who knew? Okay, so I've got those folded, and I'm going to come in with my scissors, and I'm just going to cut from that score line. I'm mitering. I'm going to cut from the score line towards the top there. This is just going to get a little bulk out of it. Okay. So, and by the way, we're going to be covering these. You're not going to see them. So perfection is not an issue. All right. Now we're going to do some stamping. Let me show you the full stamp set and the matching punch. It is really, really cute, you guys. I've had a good time with it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a piece of copy paper. Copy paper, not cardstock. This can be junk mail. This can be anything, but it needs to be thin. Okay. Cardstock can be a little too thick for this. And we're going to do some masking. So let's do some masking today. I'm going to come in with a Granny Apple Green ink pad. Oh, by the way, this copy paper is a 3 1/2 inch by 1 1/2 inches. And I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to stamp it a little bit high. By the way, I'm not worried about what it's going to look like. This is only my mask. And we're going to create a mask. Now, by the way, once you create this, you're going to keep it in the stamp set. Okay. That way, whenever you need it again, you've always got it. You'll just use this little guy over and over. And I am cutting right up against the stamped image. I don't want any white showing. Masks are a little bit different than when you're maybe fussy cutting something out and you want that little white border. But this is one we do not. Okay, that is all we need. I actually want to have this bit down here at the bottom. Okay, so let's bring in our ink pad again. And I decided to re-ink my ink pads before I started. So they're probably super juicy. I'm going to stamp this down at the bottom. You know what? I need a little more ink right there. There we go. Okay, we're going to stamp. Yeah, it's a juicy ink pad. Okay, we're going to stamp this right down here at the bottom. Here's a tip. If you got a really juicy ink pad like I do, just kind of let that stamp sit on there on that paper so the paper can kind of draw that ink out of the stamp. See, pretty. We like that. Okay, I'm going to move this out of my way. And we're going to come in now with our mask. Now, this is, well, you know what? Let me get my stuff set up before I get my mask on there. I'm going to come in with the pecan pie, and we're going to do the stems, okay? So I'm going to take my mask, and this is the important part. You don't want to line it up at the top of that grassy knoll. We want to bring it down just a hair, okay? And I know you can't really see it. I can, and I know it's going to be really tough for you to see. But the reason we want to do that is because if we don't, it's going to hit the edge, and we're going to see an edge when we stamp. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to take one of the big stems. See, I even hit it just a little bit right there. So that's what it can do. Can you guys see what it did? Yeah, that's what we don't want it to do. So I need to pull it down even just a little bit more. And we're going to do another one of these now on the right side. That's better. Okay, can you see? Look, perfection, perfection. So yeah, just bring that mask down just a hair. Now for the smaller stem, this one, you really just want a little bit. In fact, can you see I'm almost taking it all the way down to the bottom of my little grassy knoll. All right. So now you can see that's how we did our masking technique. All right. I'm now going to come in with a strip of cardstock. Let me set this off to the side for just a minute so that we can stamp our toadstools. I've got a piece of basic white, and this is a 6.5 by 1.5. Why did I tell you to have 2 of those? Because you don't need 2 of those. Forgive me. I think possibly in your tutorial it says 2. You only need 1. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. We're going to come in with 3 ink pads. And we've got some bubble baths, some calypso coral, and some cherry cobbler. I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is bubble bath. And we're going to take our nice little roundy toadstool. We're going to put that right there. I'm going to now come in. Whoops, I better clean my stamp. I spoiled myself, you guys. Look, I got a brand new chamois. I've used the same chamois since the chamois came out. I don't know, probably 6 years ago or something. Decided it was time for a new one. Okay, now we're going to come in with calypso coral. And we're going
real quick, Connie, I just
Yeah.
have to tell you something. Tugger seemed like he needed to go outside, so I went to take him out. Of course, he doesn't want to go. But the pond behind your house is frozen, and there is a squirrel running across it. And it's taking all of me to not sit there and watch and wait for the squirrel to hit a not so cold part of the ice.
Oh my. Oh, I hope it's really, really frozen then.
Me too.
Poor little guy. You know, we do. We have 1 squirrel. I don't know if you knew that, Christina. We got 1 squirrel that I see keeps running across the street, but just 1. I don't know. So, all right. How about a little cherry cobbler? And we're going to use our other toadstool. I picked up a little, what did I get? It's a tugger hair is what it is. Can you see that? All right. Well, we're going to have to go for it. But you know what? I accidentally told you you're going to need 2 of these. So I guess I could just do another one. We won't. All right. So we've got that stamping done. I'm going to leave that cherry cobbler out. I'm going to need it here in just a second. So we're going to bring in our punch. And just so you know, these are going to punch upside down. And the other thing I want you to know about this punch when you're using it is there will be no white edge. You know, sometimes when we punch things, we'll have a little white edge. But look, can you see there's that bubble bath all the way around it? So yeah, you're really going to get a nice crisp image there. Now, oh man, I got cherry cobbler ink on my finger. Okay. What's new? I always have ink on my fingers. All right. And then we'll get our cherry cobbler. And yes, there is a stem for this, but we're not going to be using it today. All right. Okay. So there are my toadstools. So now we're going to do a little more stamping. This is where you're going to write your message. Okay. And I've got, oops, you can't quite see it. Let's do that. So here we go. I'm going to do a little technique with you. Another technique. I've got my cherry cobbler ink pad. And this stamp says, "You are magical." And it's a little tight to fit on there. So you can do 2 different things. Okay. One, I'm just going to share this with you. Okay. I have been known to take, I know you're freaking out right now, to take a photopolymer stamp and cut it right there. So I have a stamp that I can use in different ways. Okay. I'm not going to do it, although I really do like to do that. because then I can just piece it together when I need it to be all on one. So yeah, it's a really good idea. But we're going to take the word magical, and hopefully you guys can see this. I am just right there on the edge. I've only inked up the word magical. It really is easy. And I'm going to tell you, I shot the reel for this today, and the camera was in my way and I couldn't see very well. So I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to purposely stamp it crooked because yeah, I stamped it crooked and it's so frustrating whenever the camera's in my way. You don't have to do that, but I didn't want to make another mistake. Okay, I have cleaned my stamp. And now I'm going to come in with the Calypso Coral, and we're going to stamp up the UR. And see, if I cut this in half, I could just have the two separate stamps. So now right on top, we will say, you are magical. You know what? I think look, see how it came out a little crooked? I think I honestly like that better. Okay. We're going to dull these up a little bit more. And with, I've got ink pads everywhere today.
Hey, Connie.
Okay.
Yeah. Lynn says that it worries her that fungus is growing on you.
The little fungus, it is growing on me. You're right. Okay, so we have this other one, these little mini ones. So these are great when you're ready to stamp on the inside of your card. So I'm going to stamp these. You know what? Let me get something underneath me. Where's some scratch paper? There we go. I think I'm going to bring this one down so it's a little bit shorter. There we go. All right. So now we can add our little trio. Let's find a trio. I always start with my lightest color. I don't know why, I just do. And we're going to stamp one there. Let's see. I think I'm done with my stamping, so I'll start closing these up. I'm going to give this a quick clean here. And now we'll do a Calypso Coral. I hope you guys are enjoying the shot of my part in my hair. It's the one part of having my face up there that drives me crazy. I'm like, oh, look, you can see how badly I need my roots done. Okay. All right. And now cherry cobbler right there. All right, friends, time to put a card together. So let's really make this a magical card. Okay. Pushing all those out of my way. We are going to come in. Remember that piece of cardstock? This was the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, scored in half at 2 1/8. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 images on the back. Find some adhesive here. Now, to add our Bendy card, we're going to need to bring in tear and tape or multi-purpose glue, but can I tell you, I think I really, really prefer the tear and tape on this one. So just to kind of give you a heads up of where we're about to go. And we're going to take, this is where you're going to write your message. And yes, even though this is a Bendy card, you can still write your message on it. It goes flat. It's just when it's displayed that it stands up, okay? So there's the back of my card. Let's make sure we have the right side up. And we're going to add our Bendy panel. Now, before I add any adhesive to this, I'm going to kind of roll it gently, okay? Don't kill it. We just want to kind of help it to get that little bit of a roll. Just a little bit, okay? Kind of helps it out there. We're going to grab some tear and tape. And even though it's called tear and tape, I like to cut it. You're going to lay this, guys. You're going to lay this right along that score line, okay? And you don't have to worry about the other end. And remember, I told you none of this is going to show. We're going to hide it. I didn't like it showing. So we're going to hide it. It just makes for a much cleaner card. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute. So again, another tear and tape there, right along the score line. And I like to come along with that tear and tape and just burnish it down really quickly. All right. Again, I'm going to check it again. All right. Space up. You're going to take that tear and tape and peel off the backings. Oh, I wish I could stamp and read comments. Sharon says, cute, cute. And she loves the toadstool. I'm so glad. Okay. Folded those in. You're going to lay it flat. And you're going to adhere it to the card. See, look, it's already trying to bend, right? And even if it falls over, you know, if it does, you know what? Tacos fall over and we still love them. So they're going to still love this card. And, you know, I realized I didn't stamp my sentiment. So let's go ahead and get that down there, shall we? Okay. Cherry cobbler. And we're going to stamp. Honestly, this is like my favorite stamp in the whole set. Popping up to say hi. And we'll stamp that right up there at the top. I love this in cherry cobbler. It's so gorgeous. I don't know why I didn't stamp that earlier. Okay, remember those toadstools that we punched out? Okay. I've added Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of those. So we're going to add one here. We're going to add one here. I love that they pop just like my Bendy card. I think it makes it really cool. This one, you might need to bring down a little bit. Okay, it's going to go right there. The one last thing we want to do is we want to add a little cherry cobbler and gold bow. And I'm going to do that with a mini glue dot. You're going to press the center of your bow right there. I'm telling you, I think that just polishes off the card. Let me show you the back. No, let me show you this back because I like that one better. I like it crooked. I think it just looks awesome. So, guys, that is, oh, no. I said I was going to hide it. Oh, let's see. It's this one. Okay, sorry about that. I get so excited. Okay, so what I didn't like is that. See how you're seeing that white half-inch panel? I didn't like that. So I got 2 pieces of cherry cobbler, and these are 1 3/4 by 5. Okay. Sorry, I just get so excited about sharing these cards. But this is one, this was kind of like almost like a little afterthought. But as I looked at it, I went, oh, I don't think I like that. What's going on there that you can see that white. So I'm going to take that piece of cardstock. Can you see you're just going to tuck it right in there. And it's going to touch that inside score line. So it really is easy to do. Just tuck it in there, line it up from side to side. So much prettier, right? And now it almost looks like, you know, people want to go, how is that floating in there, right? It really does have a true look of float. Okay, there's our card. Some of you ask, how will the recipient know it's supposed to stand? Well, when they pull it out, first of all, it's already, it automatically kind of pops. Hopefully they'll know to display it that way. And then, of course, you've got your message there on the back. So let me really quickly, I want to just show you the other card, because the only thing that was different here is some of my card measurements and scoring lines. Everything went together the exact same way. All right, nothing changed. You see there are my little covers on the inside. There are my little images on the back. So everything is identical. But remember what I said at the beginning. Whatever you desire to stamp on the front of this is perfect. All right, you're going to have so much fun. But I can tell you, Terrific Toadstools really is a fun set, especially if you've got teenagers or young people in your life. This is why sometimes we have to buy stamp sets that aren't our personal favorite, because we're not creating for ourselves, we're creating for others. And this is a stamp set. Just ask Christina. She saw it and went crazy for it. And I'm like, I know. Your generation and these toadstools, you guys love it, and I love that for them. But so remember that if you've got teens and people in their 20s or 30s, they're gonna love this set. All right, okay, friends. Let's see. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna zip over here. And I'm going to tell you my story that I promised you. Okay, first I have to go back here because I'm going to show you something. This is called Aunt Bill's brown candy. You know what? Earlier, before the live started, there were a couple people from Oklahoma, from Norman and from Moore. If you are from Oklahoma or have ever lived in Oklahoma or have family that have lived in Oklahoma, everybody loves and knows about Aunt Bill's brown candy. I know it's like, it's a recipe that Oklahomans have known about since the 1920s. I think that was the year. It was posted in the Daily Oklahoman. And every year at Christmas time, this recipe would be shared. Okay. I have attempted probably 30 times at least, because I've been trying to make this for every Christmas. Every Christmas, I would try to make it and I would fail miserably every time. And do you ever have one of those things, whether it's a stamping card or a technique or something, and you're going, I am not going to give up until I figure this out? Well, I was not going to give up. I was going to fight through. Aunt Bill was not going to beat me. Okay, so this is a recipe that back in the 20s, we didn't have microwaves back then. And so it was made on the stove, and you had to have two people to make it, because you had to mix it. And it took so long to mix, your arm would get tired. So you had to have a second person come in and mix. It was one of those recipes. Well, then the microwave came out and somebody discovered how to tweak the recipe. By the way, I'm trying to read comments. I want to know if anyone has heard of this. I really want to know. I don't see anything yet. Okay. So the microwave recipe came out. And back when I was a little girl, my mom would make it and she'd make it perfect every time. But I never had success. Part of the problem is you have to have a really big bowl. And I never had a big enough bowl. And it was kind of the joke in our house. Well, I can't make the recipe. I don't have mom's bowl. I need that bowl. And you know what my mom did? She accidentally gave away that bowl. We were so mad. We said, we'll never have this candy again. You gave away the bowl. We need that bowl. Okay. Little digging on Amazon. I found the bowl. Actually, before I did, I borrowed my mom's bowl. She bought another one on Amazon. And so now I've got mine on its way. But I tried it over Christmas. Fail. I was so mad. I tried it again. It takes buttermilk, and I had some buttermilk, and I said, okay, I'm going to try it again. Fail. And I'm like, this will not win. This will not beat me. I made it yesterday. And I was successful. You guys can relate to this, right? Years and years and years. I mean, I don't even know how many years. And every Christmas I try it. And what the problem turned out to be is microwaves are not the same as they were back in the, late 70s and 80s. They don't cook the same. And so every time we'd all try to make this recipe, it would always burn. And of course, when you're trying to make candy in the microwave, it's a little touchy, right? Well, I am here to tell you, this is the best Aunt Bill's brown candy I have ever had. If you're wondering what makes it, it's kind of like a praline fudge. It's got pecans in it. I'm going to gorge on it. So I'm very excited to share this with my husband for Valentine's Day. It just melts in your mouth. What are you doing, Christina?
It looks good.
You haven't tried it yet.
I haven't. So, oh my gosh,
I did it.
That is so good. Yeah.
So
you did.
Connie,
Yeah.
how about we share that recipe in one of our next newsletters?
I think we should.
Mm-hmm.
I might need to make it one more time just to confirm.
Okay.
I have the recipe down.
Mm.
Right? So good.
But
so buttery.
You know what, friends? Sign up for the newsletter and we will get that recipe in there.
Let's get Brenda on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, Christina's not there.
Sorry.
But that's okay.
Because she's standing there eating candy.
Because she's eating candy. Because she's here. If you lived here,
you'd be eating some too.
Okay. It's buttery and pecan-y.
Nutty. Yeah.
It's so good. And yeah, if you know anyone who's lived in Oklahoma, everyone knows about Aunt Bill's brown candy. There is so much more to this story. And I can't get into it here. I'll get into it in a newsletter and I'll write the whole story because it really is a fun story. But when I went out looking for a better recipe, because obviously this one from the 80s was not working. I'm thirsty now.
Me too.
Everybody would go, oh yeah, my mom had that recipe. Here it is. And they'd post it and you're going, you just want to scream. No,
that's not right.
That won't, yes, it is the recipe, but it doesn't work anymore. So I feel like I'm like my own America's Test Kitchen.
Yeah, basically.
I'm Connie's Test Kitchen.
Oh, wow. And your husband would be so impressed with you.
I know.
Cordially impressed.
He's going to be so excited that I actually, the thing is, if he sat down, he'd probably have it done like that.
Of course.
It took me like, 50 tries. But anyway, here's the thing. If I share the recipe, you guys have to know, you've got to have, there we go. You've got to have like a 6-quart glass bowl because it bubbles up and it might overflow. And you have to. Yeah. It's all about the bowl. Now you could make this on the stove, but if you ever found the stove recipe, you'd be like, yeah, never mind. I'm not doing it. Which is what I did. I'm like, no, I'm going to figure this out in the microwave. So,
okay, then you're also going to have to, give us a link to the bowl as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
I will.
Definitely.
Yep. Okay, friends. With that, we'll go ahead and close. So I've still got some candy to eat.
You still do. If I don't eat it first.
Breakfast of champions.
Exactly.
I mean, life's short. Eat candy for breakfast.
What is the name of the candy again?
Aunt Bill's brown candy. And I will even go look up. There's a whole story to who Aunt Bill is. And I think she wrote a story in the Oklahoma newspaper. And she got this recipe. Her name was Sarah, but she got it from her Aunt Bill.
I love that.
I don't know. Anyway, that is what it is always known for. And yeah. Oh, there, Brenda, you wrote it out. There we go. Aunt Bill's brown candy. But listen, don't go out there and Google the recipe because forget it.
Yep.
Trial and error until I got this down to a science, guys. Now I feel like I owe the whole world to like go out there to every, all recipes and all the different websites and go,
nope, this is
the recipe. Don't listen to anybody else.
Hey, Connie.
Yeah.
Mary Walk wanted to thank you for your banana bread recipe and tutorial. She said it was a hit at Christmas with her family and so good.
Oh,
yay.
Those were so much fun. Oh, if you guys ever missed that, I made the little mini banana breads, but you could do pumpkin bread, gingerbread, whatever. But I created a cover for it. So it was real pretty to give. Yeah, you can go in and search my website. I think it was like probably November of 2024 we posted that. Yeah, those are really fun. I'm so glad that recipe is really good because it used brown sugar and white sugar. And that brown sugar and banana bread. I'm hungry.
I know, me too.
Man. All right. Well, I guess we got to go.
Yep.
We got to go eat
something
besides candy. All right. We love you guys. Christina, thanks for coming up and eating candy with me.
Of course.
All
anytime.
Right. We'll be back on Tuesday with a new Tuesday tip. And again, next Thursday, 3 cards. 3 cards. Wow. So be sure to tune back then. Okay. Love you guys. See ya. Bye.
Bye.